You kind of generating some pressure and stopping that run last week.
Well, it's kind of like they always say, it's never as good as you think or never as bad as you think. We didn't play very good up front. We got to be a whole lot better this week against a better team, and that's what we're concentrating on this week in practice.
You saw DeMonte Russell come back. What can you say about the way he and Dontari have been supporting each other through? Both of them have been a bit banged up a little bit here of late.
I was proud of DeMonte, having been out for about 3 weeks and coming back and playing inside. He had some really good snaps, and I think as he gets more comfortable, he got a chance to be really good in developing that role as kind of a swing guy. He can play in, he can play inside, and that's kind of going to be where he has a chance to do some different things for us. So I was proud of it. Obviously, Dontari's two things Dontari has. He has length and athletic ability, and that's what you can't coach. And sometimes he's in the wrong place, but he'll work himself out of trouble just with effort. So he's got to develop and keep working in the right direction. He's got a chance to be a really good player.
You mentioned playing a better team this week, a little more one-dimensional, but they do some odd things with their fronts and 13 and 14 type personnel. How does that impact your guys when you see those kind of odd alignments a little more regularly?
Well, it's things you got to obviously defend. You got to make sure you're in the proper place in terms of gap it out, and then you just got to make sure you play hard. They do some things with personnel that requires you to make sure that you're aligned correctly. That's first, and then you got to line up and whip somebody. So that's, like I said, guys, it ain't real complicated. We just got to do our job and do it fast and do it hard and play violent up front.
Last night, Pickering was saying he was thanking God that you were here this year and that you had a lot to do with him playing at a higher level this year. Obviously, you weren't here earlier in his career, but what have you seen from him from camp to now?
Well, Pick for me is a little bit of an enigma. He's got a lot of ability. We got to get him to turn it loose and not be scared to go hard and make a mistake. And right now he plays a little bit too controlled for me. And he's got to go out there and decide he wants to be the best D lineman on the field. And quite frankly, if he does that, he will be. And so it's a work in progress. Hopefully we can get him at a different speed, and that's what we're trying to work on.
You got some younger guys that haven't seen much action at this point. With the injuries you've had, I mean, how tempting is it, to push those guys out there, maybe take a red shirt off of them?
Well, it was tempting, when we went through that rash, and hopefully, knock on wood, we'll keep the guys we got healthy now. But it is tempting on one side, and the other side is you don't want to play a guy before he's ready. You can do more damage than good, and that's what you have to kind of balance as a coach. You throw a guy out there and he's not ready, and all of a sudden, he's playing against grown men in a grown man's league, and he could lose his confidence. And I've seen guys get ruined for their career just because they played too early. You'd rather play a guy late than play him early, and that's what we try to be cautious in doing.
Saw against Arkansas, the secondary maybe had its best game of the year. How much does that help your unit when guys like Sean Preston, DCAM, are playing at that high of a level?
Well, it takes all 11 guys. We got to do a better job, and I told my guys we got to do a better job rushing the quarterback. We can't give him time, and which helps the back end guys. Those guys can't cover all day long, so we got to work at our craft and get better rushing the quarterback. That was probably a little bit more disappointing than anything on Saturday. Is our pass rush. We didn't generate enough in terms of we had some one-on-ones. We didn't win the one-on-ones, which you got to do. So that's what we got to do up front is we got to help those back-end guys and generate some pressure for them.
More specific on the guys in the back end, how nice is it when you guys are able to generate pressure and you see the linebackers getting the quarterback, you see the corners and safeties getting the quarterback? What does that do for you guys?
Well, it's like anything else, and you guys know as fans, if you got guys playing in the backfield on defense, it's a good thing. It gets everybody excited. It gets the defense excited. In turn, it gets the offense excited and creates a little momentum, creates a little energy, and that's what we try to do. It's a fun defense to play. It's an attacking defense, and we got to create negative plays, and we got to create chaos in the backfield. And I don't think, speaking for my guys, we've done a good enough job of that yet.